What's going on, Jerome's? So less than ideal. Less than ideal. The Minnesota Vikings allegedly fall 34-23 against the Detroit Lions. Vikings still 10-3 on the season. And oh, by the way, Lions with the last second field goal. Vikings are still 9-0 in one-score games. Woo, feels good, man. No, not particularly. Lions are currently 19% to make the playoffs, but they're playing with a lot of energy. They're having a lot of fun, and the Vikings were flat today. And frankly, I mean, the three losses that the Vikings have had this year, so the Eagles debacle, the Cowboys debacle, and then whatever the hell this was, they should be wake-up calls, but this is just unacceptable, where one team wanted to play the Lions, one team did not, and everything was on the line. Like, you could have secured the division today, everything would have been hunky-dory, but no, you don't go out and do that. It's just frustrating. It's just ridiculous. And also, all right, so we're going to get into winners and losers in a later video. We're going to do 10 takeaways here. But the fact that Ed Donatel is still defensive coordinator is, frankly, massively disrespectful to every player, every coach, every support staffer, every executive involved with the Vikings organization. Because this defense is hindering this football team. It is. Tristan D, $2 in Super Chat. Someone doesn't get fired, I'm going to be mad. Now, it sucks that the Vikings have that short week, and then they play the Colts on Saturday, so it's unlikely that Dontel is going to be moved on from. The time to do it would have been after the Patriots game, when you had 10 days between that and the Jets game, but sort of is what it is. And you do have a ready replacement on staff. You have Mike Pettin, who has 10 years as a DC and head coach in this league. So it's just a lot of the Vikings' issues on defense. It is scheme. It is coaching. It's frustrating because this team, there's still 99% chance they make the playoffs and win the division. But even with the offense clicking and firing on all cylinders, this defense is not it. Derek Baker, $10 in Super Chat. Cousins and wide receivers balling. Offensive line bad due to injury. And Mike Talks ASMR, $10 Super Chat. 6'7" national media jabronis act like they just won the Super Bowl fight at Downtown. And that is true. Props to the Lions. They're playing with a lot of energy right now, but you're a 6-7 football team. Congratulations. Yeah. And with Donatel, it is massively frustrating. And you could tell that Kevin O'Connell was starting to get bothered by it too. Flipped out when the Lions had another third down conversion. How many third down conversions did they have? They were 7-15. It seems like it was a lot more. Right. Do you got red zone on here? Red zone, they were 2-2. All the talk is like, oh, the Jets were 1-6 in the red zone against Dontel's defense. 464 yards of offense, 5 straight games allowing 400 plus defensively. Inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable. And on a day where Justin Jefferson was out there putting up records, it's just so frustrating, man. It is. But takeaways, defense needs changes. Like, they need to fire Donatel. They need to put in Pettin. They need to blitz more. They need to do all this. And yeah, it was really frustrating that they didn't have Harrison Smith, but it is what it is. Players have injuries. You will miss guys. It has to be next man up. Josh Patelis was very clearly being picked on today by Jared Goff, but the defense just had no heart. And you look at all the talent that is on that side of the ball. Za'Darius, Daniil, Kendricks, and the fact that it seems like the scheme and coaching is just holding this thing back. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Also, Justin Jefferson can't do this on his own. Throughout most of this game, and Cousins is playing above the rims, throughout most of this game, Jefferson and Cousins, and to a degree Hawkinson and Thielen, were just dragging this team along, right? But they can't do that every single game. Jefferson can't be Superman, and you can't just rely on him to drag this team back. You can't do that. Tristan D, $2. The fans are better than this. Agree. On a day where Jefferson sets a record, 213 yards, a regular season single game receiving record for the Vikings. Anthony Carter obviously had 227 against the Niners in the divisional round back in the day. But Jefferson made some ridiculous catches. Also, he did not step out of bounds. The ref cost the Vikings a touchdown, as well as 60 seconds of time, which obviously would have been really important at the end of the game. They probably don't kick that onside kick. Teng Yang, $5. A problem is both Zimmer and Donatell are both old and stubborn. They don't make any adjustments. They should have blitz more. Jared had too much time. Agreed. How does the Vikings have zero pass rush with Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith? It's not talent. It's obviously scheme. It's just, man. Joshua Cutter, $5. National media about to point a point differential again. Yeah, the Vikings negative again, I'm pretty sure. Tater Goat, $2. Rager was wrong. Whatever. Derek Baker, talent on defense not good for 3 and 4, and 3-4, and do's and don'ts. Kwesi aimed at speed on defense this offseason. Yes. Chuck E, $5. Just me or Thielen always running backwards, leaving yards on the field. It does seem like he's running backwards, trying to create more, but it's not working out like it did when he was younger and a little bit faster. Who knows? Who knows, man? Kirk Cousins played probably one of the best games I've seen Kirk Cousins play, and not because it was garbage time stats either, but 30 for 40, 405, and 2 touchdowns. Was sacked 3 times, was under duress most of the game, but he stood tall. He dropped some dimes, and honestly, anyone who blames Kirk Cousins for this loss is a very unserious person whose opinion you should not. Yeah. Samuel Aker, $5. Donatell has definitely never showed any passion during the year, and it makes a difference when coach shows passion during the game. Well, I don't care if he's like a nerd. Just have a better defense. Oh, I guess Jefferson had 223. Yeah, I guess he does get credit for the yardage on the hook and lateral with. Anyways, but yeah, run game was absolute garbage, and we said that the Vikings should go and try to run the ball, and the Lions sniffed that out. They had 22 yards rushing. They had 5 at halftime. It's just pathetic, man. Where the Lions were clearly selling out, they're stacking the box. Like, how many times did you see a cornerback make a tackle for loss on Dalvin? And they were attacking that offensive line, and the Vikings clearly missed Christian Darrisaw. They clearly missed Garrett Bradbury, who was a game-time decision with that back injury. And the defense clearly missed Harrison Smith as well. Plus, Kevin O'Connell, I think, got too fancy. We're calling that Dalvin jump pass down near the end zone, first and goal from the 3. Obviously, second-guessing if it worked out. He's a genius, but it did not. And taking points off the board when you're at the opponent's 3-yard line, no. And then going for 2. So the analytics actually do back up going for 2. Like when you're down 14 and you score a touchdown, so then you're down 8. Going for 2 does make sense because it gives you a chance to get the lead by kicking an extra point if and when you get a second touchdown. Or if you miss it, you can just go for 2 again, and the odds of getting a 2-point conversion one time out of 2 is higher than 50%. So I get it, but it's one of those things that work better in a vacuum, like on spreadsheets, but maybe not on an actual football field. Derek Baker, $10. KOC not great. Coach like he didn't trust the defense. My opinion, he panicked too early. Well, he justifiably should not have trusted the defense. That's why they onside kicked it with 2 timeouts and 2:50 left, because he did not trust Donatell's defense to get a stop. So I don't blame him there. That's why the Vikings also took a bunch of chances, like going for it on 4th and 4. And Thielen got it there. Hawkinson is legit. I mean, Hawkinson, 6 for 67, 8 targets. Did have that one drop, which really sucked, but I think overall he was that guy in the middle of the field. Like today, it was Jefferson, it was Kirk, it was Hawkinson, it was Thielen and KJ. And that's it. And just too much miscommunication and missed tackles all over the place. And part of that's on the players, especially the missed tackles, but the miscommunications, that's coaching. So Durante Jones in the DB coach, as well as Ed Donatell, who does have a DB coaching background, like there's no excuse. why the Vikings are so piss poor at this stage. VIP stats $2. Does the defense even practice during the week? That's a good question. Rob, $5. Who will be the greatest competitor next year? Bears or Lions? Lions are ready to compete right now. Like, if the season started over right now, I think the Lions make the playoffs. They do. The Bears, they need a lot of work, but the Lions are good to go right now, man. Let's see here. Yeah, next, Lions are going to be a problem for the foreseeable future. And, I mean, Jared Goff, if he plays like he did today and the way that he's been playing the last couple weeks, I mean, he may just be the guy for them going forward. But the Lions, they accumulate a lot of high draft picks. They drafted well in the trenches, and I mean, they're going to be tough, but the NFC North is still ours. The Vikings still over 99% to secure the division. They just didn't do it today. Basically, what has to happen is if the Vikings lose out and the Lions win out, and the Lions win the division via tiebreakers, because both teams would be 10-7, but not going to happen. Now, Vikings will still secure the NFC North. We'll still have a home playoff game, and we'll go from there. So I understand that it's extremely frustrating right now, but one game. It was one game. On to the next one. We're on to, who the hell do we play? Oh, Saturday we're playing the Colts. We're on to Indianapolis. Yeah. 10 Yang, $5 a super chat. At some point, Kevin has to come and force Dontel to make adjustment. He's the head coach. Can't just focus on the offense and leave the defense alone. Agreed. But that's it. We'll be in with our winners and losers video in a hot second. But thank you very much for coming along. We'll get them next time. 10-3. Don't worry about it.